Hey guys, welcome back to Quick Notes with Chris Holland. Today we're going to be talking about the book Relentless by Tim Grover. I personally love this book. I think it's really interesting, and it's certainly not a book for everyone. It's about that book that taps into those types of successful people who aren't necessarily, idolized by the media. They're the relentless, not necessarily ruthless, but they definitely are hardworking. They're the types of people who are like Kobe Bryant. They're the types of people who are like Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Jordan Belforts of the world, Grant Cardones, the types of people who are legitimately relentless in their pursuit of success. The book breaks down the psychology of what he calls hyperachievers. He calls them in their own words, such as cleaners. Hyperachievers are cleaners in this book. It's a little bit interesting jargon, but I'll try to basically use synonyms so it's better understood. But I highly suggest that if you feel as if you're an individual who describes themselves as these types of leaders, these types of individuals, you go and read the book. There's so much more that can be learned through your own run through of the book, and definitely more in-depth breakdowns of certain concepts that he talks about that I just won't be able to explain and break down in this book summary. So it talks about their dark side, hyperachievers and their dark side, and how they leverage it in order to basically encompass and achieve success. So pretty much what this talks about is entering the zone, the level of determination. These are the types of people who are in no competition with anyone else but themselves. In order to have what you really want, you must first understand who you truly are. And if you do recognize yourself as one of these relentless achievers, then this is definitely a book that I highly suggest you tune into, read, and maybe somewhat apply some of the teachings that they talk about, because it is so very readily motivating, especially if you feel as if you're an individual who's like one of them. So, the book talks about these types of people who find the buttons that let them enter the zone, and then they use their anger for top performance. If you've ever heard of negatively motivated individuals, then these are the types of people who will not take no for an answer. In fact, whenever you degrade them or basically don't trust in their ability or tell them that they're not good enough, these are the people who love being told that. They enter the zone, which I call essentially determination. Determination is that type of mindset that everybody has. It's just not everybody has access to it readily available. It's whenever you feel as if it's do or die. No matter what, you're going to set out to achieve the thing that you're going to accomplish, and no one is going to say you otherwise. It's genuinely always applicable in people who have extreme adversities, when something is that is on the line that they feel like that they refuse to lose or feel as if they 100% deserve it. And so often than not, it's depicted in the media and Hollywood movies of these individuals who will do whatever it takes in order to succeed. It's true winner's mentality in the flesh, meaning that no matter what, whatever it takes, they will throw every resource that they have in order to achieve the thing that they set out to be. This is basically what I'm talking about when it comes to that top performance zone. They utilize their anger. When someone tells them they can't do something, they love it. They think it's the best thing that has ever happened to them in the world, and they enjoy competition. In fact, they revel in it. They love being the underdog. They love being the individual that nobody thinks is going to win, because it makes their success feel that much sweeter. These are the types of people that don't compete with others. They swear to compete with no one else but themselves, because no one else is on their caliber. These are the types of people who are incredibly high ego, but the reason is because they're backed up by performance. For example, Kobe Bryant. There's so many interesting stories of him being this type of person. On his first meetup with Michael Jordan, who's arguably the greatest basketball player of all time, he was told by Coach Jackson, Phil Jackson, that when he sits down with Michael Jordan, to be courteous and be nice. The first thing he did was look Michael Jordan straight in the eye and say, I would F you up in a one-on-one. And Michael Jordan looked back and said, maybe you just might, because Michael Jordan just entered retirement. These are the types of people who will never, ever not bet on themselves. They always think that they are the best in the room, no matter what the room is, and they're looking to compete and dominate with themselves, not only looking towards competing, but also winning. These are Arnold Schwarzeneggers. If you look at the type of examples, Arnold Schwarzenegger always talks about whenever you're entering a new industry, whenever you're entering a new skill, whenever you're looking towards moving into anything, look towards dominating. Be number one. Don't play to compete. Don't play to not lose. Play to win. And the thing is, he's a definite example of that quote. Not a lot of people know this, but before he became Mr. Olympia, before he became his bodybuilding career, he actually was one of the highest and largest, most successful construction building companies in Los Angeles. Yeah, that's right. He hired a bunch of bodybuilders because he realized he needed the capital in order to pursue his dream. So he became one of the top. He was a millionaire before he ever was idolized in the media. And basically from there, he ended up dominating the Mr. Olympia. He became number one. He pioneered a whole health industry that revolutionized the entire world, not just America. From there, he looked towards becoming a movie star. He dominated that industry as well, becoming the number one highest paid action movie star that existed in his time. And from there, he may not have become the president of the United States because he was restricted from where he was born, but he certainly did dominate the field, becoming governor of California, which is one of the highest levels of politics that you can achieve at basically his circumstances. So So he definitely was someone who embodied the quote, don't look towards competing, look to dominate. He's an individual that's there to win and nothing else, and he's competing with no one else for himself. He set his own standards, and these are the types of people who have that relentless drive. They will never not stop looking towards achieving a high level of success. They prove themselves over and over and over. They want it for themselves, not for anyone else, because no one else is on their level in terms of their drive, their determination, or what they're setting out to achieve. They don't revel in the winnings as much as they revel in the process. Whenever they do win, they straight away look back and realize what is it that they could have done better, because they recognize that this feeling, this goal that they're setting out to achieve is something that they're ever going to become conceited with. They're always actively looking towards putting themselves in more dangerous, more competitive, more stretching situations. Their discomfort zone is their comfort zone. They're always looking towards striving for better. They have relentlessness, means that they never are satisfied, no matter what. Whenever they achieve a new goal, they create and set high ones as soon as they reach the previous one. They're always looking toward dominating every field that they go into, and they're only restricted by their own lifespan. A huge example of this, once again, is Arnold Schwarzenegger, Michael Jordan, Jay-Z, you name it. Anyone who's consistently looking towards challenging themselves, no matter how many successes that they achieve, they always look towards pushing themselves to the next level. It's not about necessarily money, it's not necessarily about fame, it's not necessarily about fortune. It's all about their personal self-image and how they believe that they personally are destined to achieve whatever it is that they set out to achieve. You walk in confidently and live with the results. These are the types of people who enter a room, any situation, and they know they're going to dominate. And the reason they know is because they leave with the results. They prove to everyone else around them that they are what they're talking about, but don't do it for them, but do it for themselves. Their ego is 100% justified, and that is the only reason as to why they believe that it is that they're able to talk the way that they talk, because they do walk the walk. So let's break down how it is that you start to become this person. Well, first of all, you have to recognize what it is that you're looking towards accomplish. Every single person that's like this knows what they're setting out to achieve. They have a dead set winner's mentality. A winner's mentality means that they accept blame for every situation. They believe that no matter what, problem in itself, by definition, requires a solution. It's there, they just need to stick to the problem. They never believe in giving up, because they believe that that success is already theirs. They're deserving of it. In fact, they feel as if someone has stolen it from them and they deserve to get it back. That's how much their mindset is. So how is it that you break through into this mindset? Number one, hanging around these types of people. If you're an individual who recognizes that they don't have this relentless, winners, success-oriented wit mentality, whatever it takes, then you need to look towards surrounding yourself with these people. It is the easiest way if you don't find yourself personally being born with it. Although it can be nurtured, it is better if it is something that is biological. So number one, look towards nurturing it through people that surround yourself with. Understand that you are setting goals within yourself and no one else. You're looking towards competing with yourself. Don't compare yourself to anyone less than you. Don't compare yourself to anyone better than you. Your idols, these types of people generally their idols are people that are themselves 5 years from where they currently are today. They constantly ask themselves, would me 5 years from now be happy with the results that I've gotten? Chances are, no. So they always actively look towards resetting the goals that they achieve in order to not necessarily satisfy the person they are today, but the person that they are in the future. It's amazing if you ever come across these people, and they're definitely incredible. They're the types of people who have the documentaries that are written about them, whether it's Winston Churchill, whether it's Kobe Bryant, whether it's Michael Jordan, whether it's Arnold Schwarzenegger. So often than not, sports has these types of mentalities on display, because there you see when they throw everything and anything at it in order to get the result that they're looking towards achieving. More often than not, they seem just experiencing success only to go straight back towards their coach, mentor, or anyone else to basically figure out, where is it that I went wrong? Where is it that can I improve? They're always striving for success, always recognize that they will never reach perfection, but they will get as close as humanly possible. If you can tap into this mindset, just so you know, every person have it, because the zone that you're talking about is a level of determination. Determination means that you will refuse. Nothing will stop you from attaining the success that you're looking towards accomplishing. It does exist. You just have to understand what the trigger is. For these types of people, it's being told that they can't. It's basically, it's insulting their personal ego to the extent that they need to prove these individuals wrong. But they're always looking to compete with their own personal results and other types of things that drive them. It's very interesting. It's awesome to watch. If you ever feel as if you can have this type of person on your team, or you can become the person that I'm talking about, then no matter what, you're destined for success.